Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Mark, a trainer here at WEX Field Service Management, and today we are covering customer account management. This webinar will cover your customer list, how to search for customers, merging and deleting, customer sync, how to create a new customer page overview. We'll go over status and referral sources, quick actions, billing, addresses and locations, customer tabs, auto-generating a customer number, we'll look at some customer reports, and a live Q&A at the end where you will get your questions answered live on stream. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into WEX FSM. So today we are talking about customers in your system. If you want to add a new customer from the schedule page, the customer page, there's many different main pages that you can see this quick action search here for customers. And right next to that, we have a red plus button. You can click the plus button to add a new customer. Once you fill out this information, it will then create a new customer profile and save that in your customer list. Now, just a pro tip here for adding new customers, you will have these little red asterisks next to the fields that are required when adding. If you notice, email currently says that it's required, but if you try to add someone who doesn't have an email, this could pose a problem because you want to move forward without adding an email, but it's required. To turn this off, you can opt out of marketing emails and opt out of email notifications. And then you can add without an email. You can always go back and add an email to that account later. All right. So once you have your customers added, you will see them in the customer list. To get here, you will go to customers in the main navigation, and then you're here. Now, this is a big list of all your customers in your entire system. Some important things to know about this page. This is where you can search for customers if you want. You do have a search by customer name, location, email address, phone number, and last visit date. However, you will most likely be doing most of your searching from the quick search up top here because you'll be on the schedule page. You'll be on different pages doing your job, and you'll need to search. And that search is right here without having to go to the actual customer page. What this page is really good for, though, is you can merge accounts from here. So if you have a duplicate, you can select both, tap merge, and then select who you want to be the master. Everything from merge with master account will merge into the master. So you have info for both accounts. They will just be one account after the merge. Something that is important if you are syncing to QuickBooks when merging customers, it says right here, not performing this merge in QuickBooks will result in sync errors if the master customer selected in QuickBooks is not the same as the master customer selected in WEX FSM. Now, if you're not syncing to QuickBooks, you just merge them and we don't have to worry about syncing to anything else. But if you are syncing, the process here for merging would be first merge those same two accounts in QuickBooks. That way you have the name of the new master in QuickBooks. And then you do that same merge here in WEX FSM. And once you do this, when it syncs down, it'll be a one-to-one comparison and it will sync up very easily from there. You can also delete accounts if you want. You can select and hit delete. And then you have your auto sync status. So if you're syncing to QuickBooks, this will tell you the sync status of each item. And the way the sync will work is when I create a new customer in my system, in WEX FSM, that will also create a new customer in your QuickBooks as it syncs down. Okay, so that is the customer page. Now let's actually search for a customer and go to their customer profile and kind of dive into the actions you can take there. We're going to search for my customer, Justin Hernandez. And we will just click on Justin's name here to go to his customer profile. Every customer you have in your system will have a customer profile page like this. And let's just start at the top left. We have the customer name. There is a little trash can icon if you would like to delete this customer completely from your system. If you see a star next to their name, that means they are part of a maintenance plan. You'll see the type of plan that they have signed up for here if you hover over the star. Underneath that, we have quick actions. You can two-way text message the customer. You can log a phone call. Sometimes you just talk to the customer, but you don't actually schedule anything. But maybe you just want to document that you talked to them, what you talked about. Schedule an appointment. So yes, all of your scheduling will most likely be done from the schedule page. But if I'm on the phone with Justin and he says, yeah, why don't you come out tomorrow at 3 p.m.? I should be home by then. Sounds great. You can just click schedule an appointment right from here and do your scheduling for this, new job without having to go back to the schedule page. We have leave a note about the customer. This actually comes in very handy when you turn it into a belled note and include things that the technicians will need to know, like a gate code so they can get into the area and do the work. Click on leave a note about the customer. This will allow you to attach this note to any address that they have on file. And if you leave the bell, so there's a little bell here. If you leave the bell off, it will save in the timeline, but it won't attach to all future jobs. If I turn the bell on, that means, let's say that I assign it to the Scotch Moss Court address. Anytime I make a job for this address, it will include the belled note as long as this bell is turned on. And then that saves you time from having to type in all those little reminders and notes each time. So this is great for gate codes, reminder about pets that are on the premises, maybe even step by step of what to do if it's someone, or I'm sorry, not gate code, filter sizes is another good one. Okay. And next is create a new job form. So if you want to create a new job, it will create a job folder. And then those jobs that you create will show up in the timeline on the right side here. You have the ability to mark this as a residential account or a commercial account. If you switch to commercial, it just provides an area to put a business name. Then you have your addresses. So billing addresses are separate from locations. If it's a single family residential home, I'm sure their billing address is the same as their location. But let's say this is a property management company. You're sending all the bills to their billing department, but then all of the locations are different properties, apartment 101, apartment 102. And you can add those sub-locations here, and they will all live right here. To add a new location, you will click the plus button, enter in the information. Now, technically, you only need to put the address, but I do recommend adding a location name just so you can remember, oh, this address is the property number 2, or just a way for you to quickly know which address that this is. Just a quick note here, you can set a default tax group in case this is a address that requires that. An example would be if you are working with a school, let's say, and you want to offer them 0% uh, tax. You can just update that here, and then it will auto populate the new taxes that are set from the default here. It'll override the normal system defaults. Settings and preferences. This is just, personal preference on how this customer prefers working with you or how you prefer working with them. You can update which payment method you accept from them, their preferred communication method. They might tell you, if you send me an email, I'm never going to see it because I don't check my emails. Send me a text. You set that here. Payment terms. Do they prefer a Spanish speaking representative? Here's a place where you can update that opt out of emails that I was mentioning earlier. And you can set a preferred technician. So this is nice. This will just give you a reminder when you're scheduling that this customer prefers this technician. Growth potential, if they have a system, let's say that there is some type of system, roof replacement, new big bathroom redesign, whatever it is in the future, you can set some revenue potential here just as a reminder for yourself. This example is saying that they have a system and that system needs to be replaced in 2027. And the amount of money that we have the potential to make from that replacement is 5 grand. And so this is just a little reminder as I come down. Maybe I say, okay, we're in 2026. I don't need to think about this right now. Later, you come down and you see, oh yeah, they like we need to hit them up for their replacement. And then you have attachments, any attachments that have been added, whether it's to the customer page or to the jobs page, you'll have a reference there. And now on the right side, we have some tabs here, and these tabs are very useful. The timeline tab is going to have all your jobs, but you can filter the timeline. Maybe I want to see all of my invoices. It'll pull the invoices out of all the jobs and just give you a list of invoices to look at. And then we have payments. You can process a payment from here, record a payment, add credit or refunds. And then these sections allow you to see payment and credits by invoice, any payment plans that they happen to be signed up on. You can securely store card and bank account information to use as recurring payment or to make purchases in the future on the customer's behalf. And then customer statement history. If you're sending statements out to them, you'll be able to see those below. Equipment, you can document equipment from here. You'll just click add equipment. Now you can also do this from the mobile app. So, a scenario here is you have just installed a new piece of equipment and you want to document that so you will be able to see in the future what equipment is on location when you get there. So you can enter the equipment name, manufacturer, is this in confined space, the warranties. You can even take pictures and attach those here and hit save. What that will do, that's going to save to this address. And then in the future, if I do any other work for them at that address, they will be able, or either I in the office or my field technician out in the field would be able to see all those details. Maintenance plans, if they're on a maintenance plan, you'll see that here. You can also add maintenance plans from this tab. And you can even schedule from here as well. So if let's say, today's the 9th of January, we're within their January to May service window. I happen to be talking to them about something else and I'll say, hey, we are actually within your January to May service window for us to come do the spring maintenance. You want to go ahead and set that up? Yeah, sounds great. Click on the calendar, and now you can schedule your maintenance visits from the customer page if you want to. Now, we do have a maintenance plan appointment scheduling report that is also great for that. But if you need to, it's here. You can just schedule from the calendar. Okay. Next is contacts. Now, this is important. You're going to be adding locations. Let's say you have someone who has many different locations. In order for you to communicate to the people in those locations, you need to add them to the contact list, and then you can assign them to a specific location. So the way this works, just like any contact list, I set up my list here. This is me putting all the people I want to be able to send messages to through the system. And then when it's time to select who to send it to, this will be the drop down list that you have. If you do not have someone added in the contact list, but you want to contact them, typically in the moment, you can always hit add new contact and add it while you're doing it. But it's nice to get your list set up ahead of time here. All right. Let me check my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, perfect. We're good. All right. Moving right along, we have let's go to settings, customers and scheduling, and customer preferences. Ooh, right here. So this is just a preference of yours. Whether you want to do this or not is up to you. Your system, when it creates a job, will automatically create a job number, and those go in succession. Each new job you make, a new job number is populated, and that is, by default. But some contractors also need a customer number, very specifically, separate from a job number. And if you do use customer numbers, you can turn that on from here. Again, that is settings, customers and scheduling, customer preferences, and then auto generate customer number. Selecting yes will generate a sequential ID number for each customer. So if you need customer numbers, you can turn those on here and hit save. All right, let's now take a look at some reporting. You will go to reporting in the middle of the main navigation here. And then on the original tab, we have customers right here. Tap on customers. That will bring you to the customers report. And from here, you are able to search by date range, maintenance plan status, customer type, customer status. And then as you update the filters here, you will be able to see that updated down below. Also know that this will show you your total customers and who has an active maintenance plan out of that list. So always keeping in mind your maintenance plan program, even from the customer page. If you want to download a report, you will either see a green button that says download. That one's pretty self-explanatory. This one's a little different. If you want to download from this customer's report, there's a little rectangle here with an arrow pointing down out of it. Tap that, and then you can export as an image, as a Excel file, PDF, or PowerPoint. All right. that is all the information that we have for today's presentation. I hope you learned something. We're going to move to our Q&A now, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining. My name is Mark with WEX Field Service Management, and this has been Customer Account Management.